Can guppies eat ants? Which insects are safe? If you are a guppy owner, you might be wondering what kind of food you can offer to your fish besides the usual flakes and pellets. You might have heard that guppies can eat insects, but which ones are safe and nutritious for them? And can guppies eat ants, one of the most common insects around? In this video, we will answer these questions and provide you with some tips on how to feed your guppies insects. We will also discuss the benefits and risks of feeding your guppies insects and how to prepare them properly. Guppies are omnivorous, meaning they can eat both plant and animal matter. In the wild, they feed on algae, detritus, and small invertebrates such as worms, crustaceans, and insects. In captivity, they can be fed a variety of commercial foods such as flakes, pellets, freeze-dried, frozen, or live foods. Why feed your guppies insects? Feeding your guppies insects can have several benefits for their health and well-being. Here are some of the reasons why you might want to include insects in your guppies' diet. Insects are a natural food source for guppies in the wild, so feeding them insects can mimic their natural feeding behavior and stimulate their hunting instincts. Insects are rich in protein, which is essential for guppies' growth, reproduction, and immune system. Protein also helps guppies maintain their vibrant colors and prevent fading. Insects can provide variety and enrichment to your guppies' diet, which can prevent boredom and stress. Feeding your guppies different kinds of insects can also help them avoid nutritional deficiencies or imbalances that might occur from eating the same food all the time. Insects can be cheaper and more sustainable than some other types of fish food, especially if you collect them yourself or breed them at home. What are the risks of feeding your guppies insects? Feeding your guppies insects is not without risks, however. Here are some of the potential drawbacks and dangers of feeding your guppies insects. Insects can carry parasites, bacteria, viruses, fungi, or toxins that can harm your guppies or introduce diseases to your aquarium. This is especially true for wild-caught insects that might have been exposed to pesticides, herbicides, or other chemicals. Insects can be too large or too hard for your guppies to swallow or digest, which can cause choking, impaction, or intestinal damage. This is especially true for insects that have hard exoskeletons or sharp appendages such as beetles or grasshoppers. Insects can be too fatty or too rich for your guppies to handle, which can cause obesity, liver problems, or digestive issues. This is especially true for insects that have high fat content such as waxworms or mealworms. Insects can be unpalatable or unappealing for your guppies, which can cause them to reject them or spit them out. This can lead to wasted food and poor water quality. How to feed your guppies insects? If you decide to feed your guppies insects, you need to do it properly and safely. Here are some tips on how to feed your guppies insects. Choose the right insects for your guppies. Some of the best insects for guppies are those that are small, soft-bodied, and easy to digest. Examples include fruit flies, mosquito larvae, bloodworms, daphnia, brine shrimp, and microworms. Avoid insects that are too large, too hard, too fatty, or too toxic for your guppies. Examples include beetles, grasshoppers, caterpillars, spiders, ants, wasps, bees, cockroaches, and termites. Collect or buy the insects from a reliable source. If you collect the insects yourself, make sure they come from a clean and safe environment that is free of chemicals or pollutants. Avoid collecting insects from areas where they might have been exposed to pesticides, herbicides, fertilizers, or other substances that could harm your guppies. If you buy the insects from a pet store or online vendor, make sure they are fresh and healthy, and check their expiration date if they are freeze-dried or frozen. Prepare the insects before feeding them to your guppies. If the insects are live, you need to rinse them with clean water to remove any dirt or debris that might be on them. You also need to quarantine them for a few days in a separate container with some water and food to make sure they are free of parasites or diseases that could infect your guppies. If the insects are freeze-dried or frozen, you need to thaw them and soak them in some water to rehydrate them and make them softer and easier to digest. You can also add some vitamins or supplements to the water to enhance their nutritional value. Feed the insects to your guppies in moderation. Insects should not be the main or only food source for your guppies, but rather a supplement or treat that you offer occasionally. Too much insects can cause health problems for your guppies, such as obesity, liver damage, or digestive issues. A good rule of thumb is to feed your guppies insects once or twice a week, and only as much as they can eat in a few minutes. Remove any uneaten insects from the tank to prevent them from decomposing and polluting the water. Conclusion: feeding your guppies insects can be a great way to provide them with some natural, protein-rich, and varied food that can improve their health and well-being. However, you need to be careful about what kind of insects you feed them, where you get them from, how you prepare them, and how much you feed them. By following the tips in this video, you can feed your guppies insects safely and successfully. Thank you for watching our video about guppy care. I hope you enjoy your time with your guppy tank and learn something new. Until next time, take care and happy fish keeping.